Last December, I went to the University of Virginia to meet with members of One Less, a student group that advocates for survivors of rape and sexual assault on campus. I needed their advice. I went to Charlottesville on a Friday afternoon and spent more than 2 hours meeting with this impressive group of student leaders. No administrators, no reporters, just a chance to hear directly from Virginia students and brainstorm ways that lawmakers in the federal government could be helpful in addressing the problem of sexual assault. One frustration echoed by many of the students surprised me the most. They said that the first time many of them had learned anything about consent or sexual violence was during their college orientation. They agreed that education should be part of the solution to preventing sexual assault and that secondary schools could help instill values about safe behaviors early on that could help them in the future. I left the meeting inspired by the discussion, and a few months later I teamed up with Senator Claire McCaskill of Missouri to write and introduce in the Senate the Teach Safe Relationships Act. What the bill said was pretty simple. If a secondary school system wanted to receive a certain type of federal funding, it would have to report on what it's doing to teach students safe relationship behavior. The idea was that when kids are in middle or high school, health education classes shouldn't just teach reproductive biology, but they should also include information on what to do if you're feeling pressured or coerced or even fear violence in a relationship. This week I'm glad to report that this important bill is now one step closer to becoming law. The Senate passed a bipartisan Elementary and Secondary Education Act reauthorization bill that included the key provisions of the Teach Safe Relationships Act. I'm hopeful that if the House passes this bipartisan Senate bill, we can deliver an important rewrite of federal law that's responsive to the concerns of UVA students and helps prevent sexual assault on and off our college campuses. And that's very important. Remember that the time you're most vulnerable to being a victim of sexual assault in your life is from age 16 to 24. Now, we have young people in that age range who aren't just on college campuses. Some are in high schools, some are in the workforce, some are in the military. If we do a better job of instructing our students in secondary school about what to do if they're feeling pressured or coerced or if they fear violence, then they're going to be safer wherever they are. I applaud the students of the University of Virginia for putting the idea on the table, and I applaud my colleagues in the Senate for helping make it happen. I look forward to working with the House to make sure this bill becomes law.